What's going on, everybody? What is going on? It is Wednesday, January 29th, 2025, and we're back with another live here on the Tony Rain Reloaded channel. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to go ahead and hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you are new. And if you are new to the channel, I'm glad that you are all here. Hit the bell twice to be notified whenever I upload a new video and go live. But speaking of new people coming to the channel, let me give a huge shout out to Professor Black Truth for not only expanding on the commentary that I did on Diane Yap yesterday, but also giving me a shout out in his commentary. And that ended up getting me, like, I think probably nearly 200 or a little bit more than 200 more new subscribers in the last few hours. Like, my subscribers did quite a bit of a jump because of that. So a huge shout out to Professor Black Truth on both of those fronts, and shout out to everybody that came over to my channel from him shouting me out on his channel via that video. I do greatly appreciate it. But as y'all can see, we have a new Blacaren entry today in the Blacaren Hall of Shame, none other than Sexxy Red. Some of y'all probably was like, wasn't expecting this to come, but then when y'all saw the title, y'all was like, okay, now we see why you're doing it. And I have to do it. But before we get into all of that, let me acknowledge the people who are here so far. We got Dream Sky Lover, Neo Panther, Wallow J, LA's Space, Miss Nisi, Tildog 12, Rhonda Herbert, Haxon KT, Panther Strike, Tamika's Den, Demarcus Vaughn, Reparations Nation, XA Guacha 23, SCT's Fan, Lavanya Frank, Tangi 2936, Anthony Phillips, the first ethnic Tutnese, Robert Brown, RDRD, Raging Woody, Don P. And look at all these stream elements that just came in. It says, thanks for subscribing. So shout out to all the people that just subscribed to the channel. I don't know if y'all recently hit the subscribe button or if it's just coming up from earlier, but either way, I'm glad that you are all present. We got Sun Goddess 89, Kai Clark, D Foster, Tawana, or is it Tawana? Jay the Informant, shout out to you for the 2. He says, tell the last to settle the horses for this ride. Appreciate you. Stay positive. Appreciate you, DeMarcus. Yes, I officially hit, because of the shout out from Professor Black Truth, I hit 71K subscribers today. So shout out to him for that. RY, SD Johnson, and Tassetti Warrior number 1. I appreciate each and every one of you. So we're going to be talking about Sexxy Red today in this stunt that she decided she was going to pull on MLK Day. So I'm sure many of you already know what she did, but in case y'all don't know, let me go and show you what she did that led to this whole debacle. So look at this picture right here. This is a picture from Sexxy Red's, I think this is her Twitter account. Yeah, I think this is her Twitter account, where she created an AI image of her with Dr. King inside of a club dancing with each other. She could have posted anything else related to Dr. King in good taste that day, but she decided not to and decided to create this AI image of her dancing with Dr. King at the club. First off, that's disrespectful to the fact that the fact with this man, you know, with him and his wife, Coretta Scott King. Second of all, I'm almost certain Dr. King wouldn't even approve of a Sexxy Red behavior back then or now. She decided that this was the route she was going to take and that it was just going to be okay and people were going to be okay and be fine with it. Man, was she ever wrong? Because when I tell you, Black Twitter and the King family, more so Bernice King, Dr. King's wife, not wife, her daughter, got in her ass about this, it was a wrap. And what also was interesting about this is, because that led me to this, is there was an image that was floating around on social media, not of this, but there was a flyer that was created for a club party down there in Atlanta. Well, it wasn't in Atlanta, but it was in the Atlanta area, where they were going to have like a club. It was a club event, like a club party, and it was going to be like they titled it, MLK weekend party, whatever. And I find it very interesting because this was going on even when I was in college, that people would have these type of parties during MLK weekend. Fine, whatever you have, it's technically it's a holiday, whatever. But the flyer is what got me. Now I can't put on the screen what the flyer is, but I can describe to you what it looks like because I posted it when I got it. I screenshotted it off my Instagram and then put it up on my Twitter. It was a party flyer. It looked like it was in a club. It was purple in color, and on the flyer it had a picture of Dr. King throwing money on a stripper, but on the stripper it was a Photoshop face of Rosa Parks twerking on Dr. King while having money thrown on her ass. And when I saw that, I posted it up on my Twitter account. I can't remember what I said on the caption, but I was very thoroughly pissed and remember saying something to the effect of, this is not new. This was going on when I was in college, when they made those type of flyers when I was in college. Now, mind you, I went to college from 2007 to 2011. So that shows you how far back this goes. I mean, the utter disrespect. And before I get back into that, shout out to Dana for the 100. Make sure y'all put some hundreds in the chat for Dana. I greatly appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. Well, when I saw that, I was so mad, but I said I can't make a video about it because of the imagery. And I know YouTube would immediately take it down for basically posting a provocative image, because that's basically what it was. But the utter disrespect of people who we helm up as our elders and our icons to promote your degenerate party. You could promote it any other way, but that's how you decided to go about it. Shout out to DeMarcus Vaughn for the 5. He says, we can't forget what B. Simone said about Martin Luther King. Oh, what did she say? Because I notice a lot of people have been very disrespectful about Dr. King these days by stuff that's been, what I find to be funny? A lot of people are out here believing stuff that's being put out there about Dr. King when you should know that the establishment had a hand in his demise. And y'all actually believe the stuff that they put. You mean to tell me you actually believe the stuff that J. Edna Hoover put out there with them wiretaps that he quote unquote had? This man was as corrupt as they came. And y'all believe that? Then you got to question, why do you believe that? Why do you want that to be true? This is just about as bad as when people were trying to go around claiming that Malcolm X was in the academy. And I know some of y'all heard that. They said people was allegedly saying that Malcolm X was Hall B. And I'm like, where are you getting this from? There is no definitive proof of that, just like there's no definitive proof that MLK cheated on his wife or any of that, but y'all want to go along with it. Why? Moon Rises, we're going to get onto that. But anyway, back to the flyer. The flyer went out there. Then the club that they put on the flyer, they came out and made a statement saying that, we are having an MLK weekend party, but we didn't endorse this flyer. And the person who made it, we made them take it down and get rid of it. But people still kept going at them because they didn't believe what they were saying. And I mean, at that point, it is what it is. So like I said, you got to question why they keep disrespecting our icons and our elders, people who put their lives on the line for them to act in the way that they do. Sometimes I wish I could create a time machine to put people like a Sexxy Red and all these others today who are so just, oh my God, and send them back then and let them spend a week in that era. I bet you they wouldn't last an hour. Shout out to Reg Rock for the 20. He says, I didn't repost that flyer, but I called out the club for the BS. I appreciate you. I didn't want to repost it either, but I said people need to see this utter disrespect. And it's because of me and a few others getting a hold of it that we was able to make enough noise for it to get back to that club and make them remove it. And shout out to Carla for being a member for 11 months. But they do it every year. Watch what happens. Just keep this in mind for MLK weekend 2026. They'll do it again. Now, what they did was they showed that they put up a different, I think it was like another flyer, but the flyer didn't have MLK's face on it. It didn't have Rosa Parks on it, but it was another flyer on there. And it was a little bit more tame. Some people were still upset because, it had a picture, all them flyers are going to have the big booty woman on it. That's been going on forever. But the fact that they did that other flyer, they photoshopped Dr. King's face on a shout out to Val, the Trouble Mint Twins are in the building. I appreciate y'all being here for 11 months. I appreciate you. But the fact that y'all would go and Photoshop Dr. King's face on a guy throwing money on a stripper's body who has Rosa Parks' face photoshopped on it, that was a problem. You could have promoted that any other way. You didn't have to go that far and do that. So this is that AI image right here that went out. And then, of course, the King family got a hold of it. And it probably didn't take them long because this is the internet after all. And then shout out to Samuel for the 5. He says, and Torian, what about King Rand saying Dr. King would be ashamed of his kids for not giving grandkids on Tim Pool's podcast? I appreciate you, Samuel. See what I mean? The utter disrespect. A lot of the people that have never contributed anything got the most to say. But Sexxy Red and Bernice King got into it. They got into I don't know if it was a back and forth, but they had some words for each other. So we're going to go into this article from MSN. It says Sexxy Red, Bernice King clash over MLK Day post. DJ Miss Eclectic weighs in on intentions and legacy. A recent post by rapper Sexxy Red sparked a heated debate over respect for the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King, with MLK's daughter Bernice King leading the charge in calling out the rapper's actions. Sexxy Red, known for her bold and often controversial social media presence, shared an AI-generated image on MLK Day depicting herself dancing with Dr. King. The post, which garnered significant attention and over 50,000 likes, was quickly criticized by some as disrespectful and distasteful. Bernice responded to the image, expressing her displeasure with the portrayal of her father. In a tweet, she called the post intentionally distasteful, dishonoring, deplorable, and disrespectful, emphasizing that Dr. King had dedicated his life to fight for civil rights and justice, making such an image inappropriate, especially on the day set aside to honor his legacy. I would like to know if Sexxy Red went, let me just throw out a person that PC people love to death, Elvis. When Elvis's birthday rolls around, I wonder if Sexxy Red is going to create an AI-generated image of her dancing with him. Sexxy Red, realizing the backlash, issued an apology stating that she never intended to disrespect King or his family. Well, you did. Like, what were you thinking? What did you think that was going to do? What was your intentions for that? Like I said, she could have went about the most simple thing that she could have did was just say, "Happy MLK Day," and leave it there. That's all she had to do. That's all she had to do. Creating an AI image of you dancing with this man was not the way to go about it. She explained that she had reposted the image thinking it was harmless, admitting that it was, in hindsight, classless. Now, here's the thing. Had Bernice King not said anything, would Sexxy Red have even said that, even apologized? That's why I can't take a lot of these politicians or these celebrity apologies seriously, because they do something and then you question if their apology afterward is even genuine. Because I guarantee you, if Bernice hadn't said anything, Sexxy Red would not have given this apology. She would have let that image stay right on up there. That's why, you know what? As a test, this is what I would have did if I was Bernice. Sexxy Red posts this picture of my dad dancing in a club. I wouldn't have said anything. I would have waited a couple of days. To see if she would have realized what she did was wrong and see if she was going to genuinely take it down herself. If not, and I said, okay, this was disrespectful. Well, first off, let me do this. I would pretend like I didn't see the image. Mind you, I know what the image looks like. I've already seen it, but I'm going to act oblivious like I did it. And then a couple days later, a couple days go past, I would say, this is disrespectful to my family, to my dad and his legacy. Can you please take this down? And then she takes it down and issues an apology. That just tells me she had no intention of taking it down until I said something. And let's also add in the fact that people who look at Dr. King in a certain way, who would have came at her and said, you were wrong, just take it down. And she decides to say, cuss them people out. Point proven. That's why I say I don't take her apology seriously. She is only doing that because Bernice King came at her about it. But had she not, and it would have been anybody else, she would have probably left it up. And I'm willing to bet that they probably can't wait for Bernice and I forget the other son's name, quote unquote, leave. Y'all know what I mean when I say leave. That way they can disrespect Dr. King's. Like, see, the thing is, Dr. King's legacy is being protected by his 2 living children. When they pass on, who's going to protect the legacy then? That's what they're waiting for. Appreciate you, Tilda Martin III. But let me go ahead and continue to read into this. On the radio show Good Vibes, host DJ Miss Eclectic weighted on the controversy, acknowledging that while Sexxy Red's post may not have been made with malicious intent, it still raised concerns about the respect due to figures like Dr. King. She pointed out that while the rapper's actions were not necessarily an attack on King's legacy, the use of such images, especially when they're generated for entertainment or shock value, can blur the lines between cultural expression and disrespect. The incident has sparked broader discussions on social media about how younger generations engage with history and the figures who shaped it. Some critics argue that the commercialization of MLK Day with sales and parties take precedence over reflection has led to a dilution of the holiday's significance. Think of that episode of the Boondocks. This plus when I was talking to you describing that flyer reminds me of that. And how Dr. King, he came back and he's looking around and he's like, wow, this is what my day has turned into. That's exactly what this reminds me of. I'm telling you, Aaron Magruder, that man was ahead of his time. Though Sexxy Red's apology was accepted by Bernice King, the incident underscores the ongoing challenge of balancing creative freedom with the need to honor historical legacies. For many, the debate highlights a deeper conversation about understanding the weight of historical symbols in today's culture. And that's that article right there. Now I got one more article to go over. I thought I had a 4th one, but the 4th one pretty much reiterates the one I just read, so I don't have to go over that one. Now this one, it doesn't have anything to do with Sexxy Red, but it does deal with the topic at hand. And again, the blatant disrespect of this man. So when I was just looking up stuff for Sexxy Red to talk about on this live this evening, I came across this article from Vibe about this dude right here whose name is Carlos Miller. Never heard of him. But it says he was hit with backlash over mocking Bernice King with another AI MLK photo. So this guy decides he's going to join in and mock this man's daughter by creating an AI image of his own. Carlos Miller recently found himself at the center of backlash after sharing an AI-generated image of himself with Martin Luther King Jr. at a riot. In the now deleted post on X, well, Twitter, the 41-year-old comedian, actor, and rapper jokingly mocked the daughter of the civil rights leader, writing, "Don't let Bernice see this one." The timing of Miller's post stirred backlash as it came shortly after Bernice criticized rapper Sexxy Red for sharing a similar AI-generated image of Martin Luther King Jr. posing with her in a nightclub setting. With many social media users were quick to call out Miller, with one person suggesting that he was purposely trying to get Bernice's attention with the post. And it says, "So now you just want attention. I will just post this and that's it. Everybody knows what to do," they wrote. So this is the image right here that was posted. So as you can see, this is him right here, and this is Dr. King. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. The picture, it doesn't look like a riot from what I'm seeing. So I don't know why they labeled it as such, but to me, it doesn't look like a riot. But either way, I suppose. The uproar surrounding the Wild 'N Out star's post comes after the Pound Town rapper was publicly criticized by Bernice, who called the image distasteful. Following Bernice's remarks, Sexxy Red promptly removed the image and issued an apology, stating that she never intended to disrespect Dr. King or his family. Bernice later acknowledged the apology, affirming that she valued Red as a human being. This is intentionally distasteful. Already, you know what? I'm gonna go past that because I already read that part. Although Miller also erased his post, social media didn't let him live, and the comedian used every response as an opportunity to be in character. One user called out Miller's upbringing, saying he should know better as a Southerner. Carlos, age 41, from Mississippi. "If anyone knows better, he knew better," they wrote. "It wasn't funny, it was lame. Martin Luther King Jr. shouldn't be disrespected, and everybody knows people do not like their parents played with dead or alive. Some things are unnecessary." Someone says, "Keep that nigga off my timeline." He responded, referring to himself. In other Twitter posts, some called out how they still, quote unquote, liked him, but no longer effed with him or with what he posted. Miller called critics to action, saying, "I hope these niggas get mad enough to go outside and do something." And that, I believe, is the end of the article. I don't know why Bob leaves all that white space at the end of their articles. So, yeah. That's what he said. And shout out to Speedy Thunder for the $9.99 super sticker. But yeah, these mofos. And look at his age. That guy's 41. Like I said, age does not define maturity. And the two examples that I just went over are perfect examples of that phrase coming into fruition and staying there. But y'all already know what time it is. I'm going to go ahead now and drop the link and let y'all come on up. Y'all know what else that also means. I'm getting the buzzer. All right, the first person that I'm bringing up, of course, Wallow J was going.
What's going on, Torian? What's going on, everybody? You never heard of Carlos Miller from on 85 South Show, Torian?
I don't be watching a lot of these people.
Yeah, he runs with on Chico Bean and DC Young Fly. That's what he runs with. Yeah, they do a comedy, so he's alright. I ain't gonna knock him
You
down.
got 2 minutes, Wallow.
Yeah, I know he's been on Wild 'N Out, but yeah, he know better. He was seeking attention because he does that sometime on X. I don't know why he did that, but Sexxy Red got her ass towed up. I read through them comments. They towed through that motherfucking ass. Her time is coming. I always told people she ain't gonna last too long because she honestly should have been on what was that song called? That I ain't gonna say that song, but yeah. After that first song she came out with, she should have got canceled right in there. But she gonna get hers, he gonna get his. And that's all I got to say.
All right. Appreciate you coming up. And oh, by the way, y'all know Sexxy Red and Bruno Mars got a new song out, right? I saw the title of it and I didn't even click on it. And I saw people that was reacting to it. And everybody the small percentage of people that did listen to it said that they didn't like the song. All right. Oh, y'all know what time it is. Sweeping up to the stage, Hurricane Nisi. What's going on?
Good evening, Torian and family in the chat. Quick statement. Sexy Red will be black and blue and drug from here to next Tuesday.
Miss Nisi, that's a new record. That I think that was about 5 seconds. But yeah, they got a new song on What an Unlikely Pair. When I saw that they had a song, I said, really? Who saw that collaboration coming? All right, next up, we got Cosmo. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, Torian? Hey, what's up, everyone in the chat? I gotta say, are we really surprised with the whole situation with Sexy Red? Like,
No.
exactly. Remember the ski eat? Remember the ballerina talking about that, the dancer and the little girls? Um, she was saying the little girls want to hear that instead of learning how to dance. And then Sexy Red's reaction was, "Shut up and just play my song." Remember that on the internet?
Yeah.
Are we surprised? But this even I mean, just one last thing. I'm not that side is just me not being surprised. But you heard about the whole Black History Month thing with the with Trump, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It all seems to be coming together around this time of year. And that's where I'm gonna land my plane at.
I appreciate you coming up. Shout out to Cosmo. Next up, we got my bad, AW. I meant to bring up Joseph first. Go ahead, Joseph.
Hey, Tori, salute, Tori, and salute to the chat room. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
That thing you said about putting some of these people that disrespect King in a time machine, that reminds me of the animated special they did on PBS, Be Like King, where you have these students learn about Dr. King, and they decided to bring them back to like modern time, and then see if what it would be like living in his time, and it seems like nothing's changed. And Dr. King saying, you know what, had I not gone through what I gone through in that era, nothing would have changed. So the idea of them was like, bringing Dr. King to like, a time where it was quote progressive. But that time machine out there, I would put some tethers in there too to see if they would be as brolic now in that era as they are now with us in these spaces. Chances are they probably won't be, but I'll land there. Thanks for having me up.
All right. Appreciate you coming up, Joseph. Next up, we got AW1. What's going on?
Wow, the hate's real, huh, Torian? Anyway, yeah, she sucks. But I wanted to ask you something. You remember that knock knock Karen who almost got that brother hemmed up at his own house?
Yes.
Guess what she just did an interview with? What fool?
I know. And I think I'm gonna do a live about that next week. I know. Because somebody told me because I actually found out a couple of days ago. I know what he did, and I'm not surprised. He's the only one that gave her an interview to give her some kind of a spotlight. The only one that gives a damn about them.
Right. And remember, this is the same fool that justified what happened to Black Wall Street. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. I appreciate you coming up. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about that next week. As a matter of fact, the lines that I have next week, I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of a hint of the lives I got coming next week. I have 3 of them: Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. All 3 lives I'm doing next week are all individuals who have been in the Bed Bucking Hall of Shame at least one time. At least once. So, well, one of them is going back in there. The other 2, they're just getting wake-up calls. But they've all been in the Bed Bucking Hall of Shame at least one time. As a matter of fact, I put all 3 of them in the Bed Bucking Hall of Shame. One of them been in there multiple times. The other 2 only been in there once. 2 of them went in last year, and the other one, he's been in there so many times. He got the infinity symbol. That's how many times he's been in there. But next up, we got Jonathan. What's going on?
What's going on, man? Bro, it's this AI stuff is getting out of hand. Ever since that stuff was made, people taking it and just making disrespectful artifacts out of it, and it's very disturbing. Like, come on now, let this man rest peacefully. Uh, he wasn't the type to go to a club, and if he did, he wouldn't be messing around with nobody like Sexxy Red. And
Definitely.
Sexxy Red should notice this was inappropriate when she was on that Angel Reese podcast show, telling her how some dude DM'd a picture to her, and it was a picture of his private area with nasty stuff on it. I don't want to go too far on it because I don't want to.
Yeah, I understand.
But yes, she said it was very disrespectful and very disturbing. But if you knew you experienced such disrespect and very disturbing, why would you allow yourself to disrespect Martin Luther King that way? So you just became a hypocrite for what you just did after what you just told Angel what happened on Instagram. Now you pulling this off, and you wonder why you get the stuff delivered to you the way you do. I'm not gonna hold it all up, but I'm just want to say, like, our people are lost, bro. Our people are very, very lost. And most of our people, not us, but some black people who's been easily gullible. And I'm gonna land my plane right there. Me one.
Jonathan, you got off with 3 seconds to spare. That buzzer almost kicked in. But I appreciate you coming, Jonathan. And before I bring up the next person, I'm not surprised that Sexxy Red did this, because remember, this is the same woman. And I promise you, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before. That when she was about to give birth, when she was in labor, instead of just laying on the bed and getting prepared like every other woman does, what does this woman do? Have like a whole club party in her room while she's standing on the bed while she's literally about to give birth and twerking on the bed like she's at the club. I know y'all remember that. I think the biggest thing that people was coming from when it came to that was, what fool, whether sober or not, laid up and impregnated her? That was the main question people was asking. Oh, shout out to the My Voice channel for the $5.99 super chat. He says, Carlos Miller, Sexxy Red, and some of our people unfortunately still have a mental plantation mindset, unfortunately, and they better snap out of it. Oh, y'all didn't know about that? Wow. I thought some of y'all in the chat would have knew about that. Yeah, she was hold on. You know what? Let me bring up this last person, and I won't pull up the video, but it should be an article out there about it. Samuel, what's going on?
Hey, Torian, what's going on? B1, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm not surprised about what Sexxy Red and Carlos Miller did, because they clowns, whether it's music, television, comedy, whatever, they clowns, and they not really be taken seriously. But I feel like also too, who needs to be highlighted is what King Randall said about Martin Luther King Jr. and on Tim Pool's podcast, where he said if Martin Luther King would be alive today, he would be disappointed at his own children because they didn't give him any grandchildren. Well, I think he only has one granddaughter and things like that. But the question is, Torian, I'm asking you, would he approve of King Randall having multiple baby mamas and not being married? I'm asking you that, Torian.
Oh, my bad. I had my mic muted. Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, so
after all, Dr. King was married and had multiple kids with the same woman.
Right.
Now we're not
So, you
now
know,
we're not, now we're not saying that back then, because back then, listen, they got down even back then, probably just as bad as they do today. It's just that back then it wasn't social media, everything wasn't out there, so stuff was very private. A lot of stuff was kept in house. Everything's out there in the open now. But I'm gonna be quiet because you only got 40 seconds.
yeah, because, you know, like I said, I mean, you know, this is somebody that considers himself a conservative and saying that he's guided by Christian moralities, but you out here got multiple baby mamas. So, you know, make that make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm waiting for that bed bucking on him still, Torian. We waiting for it. But I'm gonna let the next person go. B1.
You want? All right, before I go, because some people didn't know that she was twerking in the bedroom or in the hospital room when after she gave birth. As a matter, it wasn't when she was about to, it was afterwards. So this is it right here, back last year, as a matter of fact, almost a year ago. It says Sexxy Red twerk around her birthing room in hospital to bow, 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 F my baby dad. I'm not going to scroll any further than this. But the video itself is online. Like if you go on, like look at it, like just type the words in, a video should pop up, because there was a whole video made in everything. And it's crazy because they keep trying. Remember, they kept trying to force her on us. Remember how when they would come out and say, "Oh, Sexxy Red's tickets aren't selling like that for her concerts and whatnot"? That's because we don't support her. And apparently, she ain't get that much support from her so-called fans either. That woman can't sell a concert to save her life for some odd reason. No wonder she did this song with Bruno Mars. She needed someone a little bit more mainstream to do this song with, to help get her really help push her. Because I saw someone in the chat who listened to the song said Bruno Mars was the best part of the song, to which I say I'm not surprised. Tildar said, yes, she went to her 10-year-old son's school to perform. Yeah, I remember. And didn't they kick her out? Then they, like, when they found out she was coming and she came in, I don't even think she performed one song before the school kicked her out, because they already know what type of reputation she has. Oh, Tamika, you want to come up? If you want to come up, I'll tag you and put the link in there for you. Wallow J says she smelled like weed. I'm not surprised by that either. It's like anything you can tell me about this woman, my response will be, I'm not surprised. Yeah, that guy from Texas. Yeah, she has another child. Well, he's probably like maybe 11 now. All right, hold on. Let me get the timer. The timer does not discriminate. Family members or otherwise, you will only have 2 minutes. All right, Tamika, what's going on?
Hey, Torian. I didn't see the link. I just wanted to come up real quick and say I don't know none of these people, child. I always be feeling old because I don't know none of them. But I have heard her name before. But I did see the interaction, like in real time, as far as Bernice reaching out to her. And it's something like you would think people would automatically know, like, don't put something like that up. So, I was confused. But she did take it down quick and apologize. Only she know if she really meant the apology. The thing for me was the fact that so many other people started coming at Bernice, and
yeah,
they was calling her, Sexxy Red or whatever her name is, all different kind of names in Bernice comments, and she even defended and was like, listen, I ain't come for all of that. I'm not calling her the names y'all calling her. I just wanted her to correct it and take it down. And I seen something where like Azella Banks and a couple other people wanted to then tell Bernice, you don't know your daddy. Your daddy was out here in these streets doing A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And I'm like, How the hell y'all telling this woman y'all don't know? She don't know her father, but y'all supposedly know him, and are saying all these things. You know, the FBI and everybody else don't put out about him, like you were saying earlier. That's never been confirmed in any type of way, shape, or form. And the fact that the FBI even put up a post on MLK Day, and people was tearing them up like, I know this ain't who I think it is. So that was just funny to me. I was like, y'all be having a lot of nerve. But she definitely have a lot more patience than I do. God bless her, as far as Bernice King. But that's all I wanted to say.
All right, thanks for coming up. All right, shout out to Tamika. Yeah, I think that was the part that got me, was when people was trying to come at Bernice very disrespectfully for standing up for her father, and you have all these other people basically saying things out the side of their neck. And shout out to Mike Mellish John for the 5. He said, our heroes and icons are the most exploited and disrespected by both homegrown raccoons like Sexxy Red and others alike on this planet. And it's very unfortunate. And it's crazy because people like the ones that they're disrespecting, again, like I said earlier, died for them to get to this point. The least you could do is honor them in some type of form of fashion, but I guess not. But I appreciated Mike Mellish John for the contribution. Oh, and I'm just seeing the comments that Jonathan left. Y'all in the comments, y'all be going in, not in a disrespectful way, on Jonathan whenever he come up. They're like, Jonathan, you're not in the gym right now. Jonathan, you got clothes on right now. Jonathan, you cut your y'all be so observant. I think it's because Jonathan's like the only one that consistently comes up with his camera on. Everybody else usually has their camera off. So they're always used to seeing him. But yeah, it's all in good fun. It's nothing. It's not disrespectful. But anyway, y'all, I think that was probably the last person to come up and speak tonight for this topic. Again, shout out to everybody who contributed to the super chat. Shout out to Carla and Val, aka the Troublemint Twins, for both being members for 11 months of the channel. I appreciate that as well. We will have a 10 a.m. premiere video tomorrow. It's already up on the channel, so some of y'all probably already seen it. If you have not, just go over there and look to see what the topic is going to be. Speaking of bed bucket, it is going to be a bed bucket Hall of Shame entry again for another person who's been in so many times. Make sure y'all hit that notification button over there, just in case the bell ain't working for whatever reason. No live tomorrow. The next live will be on Friday. So with that being said, y'all enjoy the rest of your evening. Be safe, be warm, and definitely be one.